Ladies and gentlemen, the SFL postgame show is on the air. We have an open line, but we won't have it for long. 210-473-8428. Let's get your reactions from across the SFL nation. Final scores tonight. Santa Fe clobbers NYC 40-10. Carolina shocks Sioux Falls. And the Maulers come back against the Corsairs. 5-5-9, you're on the SFL postgame show.
This is Macc Wavy Jr., baby.
Macc Wavy, you had a near perfect night. The team was down 24-10. What was the pep talk on the sideline?
Oh, man, the defense, they really came in there, and they're the ones that, it was a team effort, but the defense came and played miraculous in that second half. Besides that big play they got, they were spotless. So the defense did the big talk. I just had to go out there and do my job, and been doing what we've been doing the last 2 weeks on offense, and the defense stepped up big this week.
Yeah, and Koma Kaleka did it again, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's my guy, man. Every time I look up, man, he's doing something big.
3 wins in a row now for Minneapolis, and you've certainly put the league on notice. You send the defending champions who are struggling mightily. They have not been able to get the run game going whatsoever, and they fall to 1-4. But the Maulers are 3-2, winners of 3 straight. You also couple that with Sioux Falls, shockingly, I don't even know how to describe it tonight against Carolina, but they fall to 4-1. You're just a game out of first place. That has got to feel just tremendous after the 0-2 start.
Oh, yes, it does. We got back from after the game, and we seen that they took a loss too, and that just was the cherry on the top, the cherry on the ice cream tonight. So we were just so happy about that, and to come from an 0-2 start, and then to be next week be battling for first place, you know what I mean, with the tiebreaker being if we win, we're in first place. We're ecstatic about that, bud. Do
you ever get tired of throwing to Doug Boas? I know that that's sort of like a run play for Minneapolis, and Boas led the league in receptions last year. But do you ever get tired of it? Does he ever say, hey, throw it to somebody else once in a while?
No, he doesn't say that. Matter of fact, he's trying to get me to hand off to him too. You know what I mean? But to me, that is our handoff. Me throwing that ball to him, that little check down, that's our handoff right there. We're not much of a running team, but that's the closest we're going to come to being run heavy right there.
On the night tonight, and I'm looking to confirm here in the stats, but I believe tonight, if you just give me 10 seconds here, your passing stats were on point. 37 of 43, a QB rating of 121.1, 322 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions tonight. You talk all you want about Queen City's struggling offense in the second half, but their defense couldn't figure you out all night. Did you feel like this was your strongest performance?
Oh, yeah, I felt like everything was going my way tonight. I let them have it. I was cutting them up, and it felt good to do that to a team that passed me up, too. You know what I mean? So it always feels good. I know they didn't need a quarterback, but still it always feels good to beat the ones that passed you up in the draft.
You got Louisville next week. It's the matchup sort of that we anticipated the most when we circled the calendar. In fact, I think a writer on the website listed it as the number 1 most anticipated game of the season. When you guys were 0-2, it wasn't looking like it was going to be a blockbuster event. But with Louisville at 5-0 and sort of picking their way through victories, and you guys now winning 3 straight, the hype is back for Maulers and Wolfpack. What do you think about the matchup next week?
I can't wait. I can't tell you that. That Bart Scott stuff, I can't wait. It's going to be a big game, and we're going to bring our A game. Everything's going great for us. We're coming along, and, it's going to be a big game. I hope we get that flex to the, so we can get that beautiful voice calling it.
Well, it already is on the main network. There's no need to flex it. Actually, I was trying to think about, have the Maulers have had 1 game on the main network so far this year? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Who was that against? I'm sorry, my memory's foggy.
The first game, the first game of the year when we played Not
Tallahassee.
Santa Fe. It was the week before. Yes, sir,
Yeah,
Tallahassee.
yeah, yeah. That wasn't a very good debut for you. Are you gonna give me a better show next week?
That's the plan. That's the plan. I laid an egg my first one, and that sucks. But I had a lot of family at this game. I know it was a away game, but I want to if I can, I want to give a shout out to all my family from Schenectady, from the 518.
Yes, sir.
I went out there and put a big show on them. And my son JJ, he had a big sack today. The defensive line did great today. The whole, the secondary did. The whole defense did great. But it always makes you feel good when you see your sons balling.
Well, Maulers Wolfpack no doubt will be a headliner next week, and we all can't wait until you're opposite Skeletor P Funk and Rick O'Reilly and the team that everyone loves to hate, Louisville. So congrats on the victory, and we'll talk to you next week.
Hey, thank you very much. And to all the Maulers, baby, we got a family to feed.
All right, there you go. Macc Wavy Jr., the rookie quarterback for the Maulers. He had a brilliant performance tonight, 37 of 43 passing. Open line now, 210-473-8428. Let's talk a little bit about, while we're waiting for our next caller, Sioux Falls is lost tonight. Got down 14-0 early. Carolina's offense was smoking early on in this game, and then when the offense started to falter, it was Maurice Spurgeon with a big kickoff return to ignite the squad. 7-3-4, you're on the SFL postgame show.
Hey, it's Colin Douglas.
Mr. Douglas, hey, by the way, nice job on the broadcast from Friday night. I was able to listen to about the first half hour of it before I had to take off on demand. But you and your dad got a good thing rolling there.
Thanks, Sam. We got a good listenership going, and the program is really supportive of the endeavor that we're doing, and we try to make it as much fun as we possibly can.
You and your dad have any interest in calling SFL games?
Maybe in the far off future, but
What's the hesitation for? What are you worried about?
I mean, we couldn't do it as good as you, but we'll try our best. Let's put it that way.
Well, I appreciate it. Anyway, let's get to the story at hand. Santa Fe pummels NYC tonight, and you had an interception with the assist from Jimmy Cash. I want you to talk about your teammate for just a moment. Jimmy Cash is stealing the spotlight. He's probably the smallest starting free safety in the league, and he is having a season to remember. What's it like playing with him?
Oh, it's great. It's great playing with him when you have a guy back there, just in case I happen to mess up or slip up in coverage, that he's over there to bail me out. He's really, from day one, he's really been hitting the playbook really hard, and obviously it shows.
Well, and so have you as defensive coordinator of the squad, and it seems like you found or struck a nice balance with Santa Fe's defense. You've shored up the run defense, which has allowed guys like yourself and Jimmy Cash and Cesar Romero to do what they do best, and that's just simply cover, the ball down the field in one-on-one coverage. And right now, Santa Fe's defense is looking almost untouchable. What are your thoughts on where they're at right now?
I'm very pleased with our progress. Of course, I was a little scared the first 2 weeks when we played Johnny English and Darnell Black, but the kind of players that they can be,
right,
and the numbers that they could put up. But I thought when we held Hawkins to under 100 yards against DC is when the light bulb went off for a lot of the guys, Sanchez and Cabrera and Lewis and our other guys on our front seven. That's when the light bulb really went off for them.
Yeah, I would agree. And they've been phenomenal over the last couple of weeks. You've got Dallas next week. It's a huge game. It's probably the second ticket behind the Maulers and the Wolfpack, but big game against Dallas. They certainly present a unique challenge. They still have to play Oklahoma City tomorrow night. How do you feel like you match up with Dallas's offense, and what about their offense is the most threatening to you?
Their offense is most threatening to me is sort of, obviously, you have a guy like Rocco Marconi back there who obviously is very familiar with how to distribute the ball, but I think really the linchpin for them, other than the wide receivers, of course, and Concord and Outdat, is Mike Davis. Mike Davis really makes that an explosive group when you consider what he can do when he has the football in his hands.
Now, go ahead, Colin. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But I feel like we match up well with them. It's just we're going to have to ask a lot of our extra defensive backs because we're probably going to be doing a lot of pass-heavy defense. So we're going to make sure to hit the film room extra hard.
I was going to say that you have Rocco Marconi's number a little bit. You know, a lot of people don't realize, you were the defensive coordinator in San Francisco, and San Francisco has commonly gave Marconi fits. Do you remember some of those games fondly?
Yes, I do, particularly in the interception that Andrew Ball made in the end zone when he was throwing for Thomas Gunner to give the Maulers their first regular season loss. Was a particularly exciting game for me, and I just hope that I'm able to match wits with the Italian Stallion come next week.
Those are those moments you never forget, right, Colin?
Oh yeah, totally. And considering how close that franchise was to winning a championship before I arrived, and considering how domineering the Maulers were on offense with their pass first run never scheme that year, also was really kind of fascinating to watch and, take part.
Sure.
For sure.
Colin Douglas, cornerback and defensive coordinator for Santa Fe. Congrats on the 5-0 start.
Thanks, Ken.
All right, good having you on. Colin Douglas of Santa Fe. Open line now, 210-473-8428. As I was discussing with Sioux Falls before the call, just a fascinating game by Carolina, and we'd love to hear from Carolina's OC or someone involved with that Carolina offense tonight, because they played arguably the best game that they've played offensively and maybe in franchise history. They did an incredible job tonight moving the football. 573, you're on the SFL postgame show. 573, who do I have? I lost 573. We'll go with 605. You're on the SFL postgame show.
Hey, Cam, you got Jason.
Hey, Jason McGee, owner of the Sioux Falls Sparrows. Sorry to say, undefeated no more. And I know that you in particular were not happy with the misfortune that you saw yourself in the first half.
Oh, no. Yeah, that we made some bad adjustments, and it put us in a hole. And we kind of brought it back towards the end, but it definitely was too big of a mistake to make and expect to come away with a win, because just across the board, our defense was focused on more the inside run, and you can't be off balance against any top running back, especially Johnny English. So that was a little off, and then focused on out routes, and they hit us up for 14 points early, and that was just that on top of the special teams.
Right.
Don't get me started on the special teams.
Oh, I know. Well, here, I'll finish it for you. You miss a 53-yard field goal that would have made it a 7-point game. and you would be hopeful that your kicker would be able to put that through. You force a fumble and are unable to recover. That Carolina eventually gets the recovery, and then Maurice Spurgeon runs back a kickoff return that may be an SFL record, 105 yards.
Yeah, that was incredible. You got to give a lot of respect to him for playing that well with the kick returning. That wasn't even his. He had another great kick return before that didn't quite make it. But yeah, we just a lot of mistakes and missed opportunities on the defensive and special team side. But we'll definitely right that ship for DC.
Johnny English, 21 carries, $161 and a touchdown. Were you as surprised as anyone that he was as successful as he was tonight? Because I got the feeling from being at Sioux Falls practice that you guys felt like that was a part of the game that you guys could be a check in the win column.
Oh yeah, I was surprised up until the point I saw where they started running, because if you looked at them last week, it was like in between the guards, like fullback dives and straight up the middle over and over again, and they made it work. So I think we over-adjusted for inside running, and then once we saw him start tearing off to the outside, we knew we were going to be in for a rough ride there, because even though your defense can kind of adjust, the adjustments are usually more so for the defensive backs against the passing game, and they adjusted well, but when you're down, you're not going to see that as much. You're going to see them running the football more, and that's why it was so hard to break in and get back in the game.
Decent night for Julian Tyree tonight. We have the Sioux Falls Sparrow owner Jason McGee on the call with us. Jennings, 107 yards on 8 grabs, but he did not reach the end zone. Caesar Cannon had 3 touchdowns. Cannon was almost unstoppable. And Benny Beasley had 100 receiving yards as well. I mean, your offense did eventually pick it up. Ultimately, what did you feel like was the X factor in this game, and the reason why you're shockingly no longer unbeaten?
Well, I think we pretty much covered it. It's we basically put ourselves in a position where we gave them a couple fade routes to the end zone, just like that. They're up 14 points. Tyree, he had one bad throw that entire game, and it happened to be the first throw, an interception on a corner route. And but we put ourselves in a hole early, and there was just no execution really defensively. We dropped interceptions, and it was kind of the special teams, of course. Prefontaine was literally perfect last year, and he's already missed 2 this year, so got to have a chat with that guy. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, just 2 sides of the ball. You can't be awful on 2 sides of the ball, and you can't, and then slow on the offensive side also. So we'll have to right that, and props to Carolina and all those guys, because they were ready and they executed a little different looks, and that's all it took.
I know it's a strange question to ask, but is there any sense of or sort of relief that, you're no longer chasing necessarily the top of the flagpole, or chasing the number 1 ranking, or trying to stay undefeated? Is there any sort of okay, well, we've gotten the whole discussion of whether we're the greatest team right now out of the way? Maybe now we can sort of go back into the shadows and sneak up on people again, or is there nothing of that after tonight?
There's maybe a little bit as far as the undefeated stuff, but as far as everything else goes, we're still gonna chase for the top, and obviously, I don't think we've ever been a team that gets the credit they deserve. So this following week will add to that fact. This losing this game like we probably shouldn't have, but the pressure for the streak is off. But I'm putting the foot on the gas even further. So everything else is full speed ahead, and I hope DC is ready, because we certainly will be.
You don't play Santa Fe until week 12. Who knows what both teams will look like heading into Week 12. That's a long way away. What is your assessment of Santa Fe and how easily they may or may not be able to be beaten?
Well, I had them number one before the season even started, and that really hasn't changed. Just looking at their offense, how good it is, and how that defense is slowly picking things up and getting even better. So they're going to be a tough team to deal with, and it's just they're the best team. And respect to Louisville and how good they've been since they've been in the league, but right now to me it's the Santa Fe Gorillas and everybody else, and we'll try and change that on our end soon enough.
Jason, appreciate the time.
Thanks, Cam. Good night.
Jason McGee, owner of the Sioux Falls Sparrows, with us, giving props to Santa Fe, who improved to 5-0 tonight. Open line now 210-473-8428. Alexander Shayatovich was trying to call in, but we had lost him. That was who that we lost. Maybe he will have a chance to call in. Was hoping to hear from Jimmy Cash tonight, who has been electric. 717, you're on the SFL Postgame Show.
Mauler running back, Doug Boas.
Mr. Boas, as Macc Wavy said, you never get tired of asking for the ball. Over the last 3 weeks, it's been 3 wins for you. Creeping up on those Sparrows now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All I need to do right now is get some cream or something. These blisters and calluses are starting to get out of control.
Wolfpack are coming up. Of course, Louisville, I'm sure, means a great deal to you. All the Maulers heard last year was, Maulers, Louisville. I don't think Louisville would, Louisville could beat the Maulers or what. And all we've heard is the talk about that matchup. Now we finally get to see them on the field. Does that matchup have any special meaning to you, or are they just another opponent?
Yeah, they're always just another opponent to me, but it'd be good to get out there running with all cylinders going right now and show the world that the Wolfpack's probably the most overrated team in the league, and we're going to show it.
The Maulers are probably one of the most underrated teams. You slide in at 3-2 now. You've won 3 straight now, albeit before tonight the games were very, very close and competitive, and even the Maulers were down 24-10 in this game. And it's not often that the teams come back from double-digit deficits at any rate in the SFL. So props to the Maulers for making that happen. Do you feel like Minneapolis, by losing those first 2 games, is sort of flying extremely under the radar at this point?
There's no question about it. And as always, everyone wanted to question the defense. The defense has been really coming back and getting it going. And T. Cabell's still an absolute animal out there. And we're going to need that defense to get past Louisville, regardless of my prior comments. So sliding under the radar was a good thing. Macc Wavy going down against Santa Fe. Who knows? I think we could have won that game. It's a strong possibility. We were in it. The backup quarterback did a hell of a job despite, having no reps in practice. So Louisville's up next, and then we get that nice run within the division. We'll see what happens.
What's the biggest difference to you between Macc Wavy and Rocco Marconi?
He's much more handsome. No. Rocco was I'm the man, I've been here, I've done that, and had that swag about him, whereas Macc Wavy's like, teach me, show me. What's that again? Let me do that better. I did that perfect, now let me try it again. He's always wanting to get better, and you can see it each week.
Any comments on getting to, I know that Queen City started sort of that losing trend in the Maulers. You guys are now able to continue the Corsairs slide. Any thoughts on Queen City? Maybe a surprise that they're 1-4 or have not gotten their running game going. I know, as doubling as the owner of the LA Sharks and having Parkeet Chol in your camp, is 1-4 out of the defending champs a shock to you?
It's a shock to me, but when I ask people around the league, as you know, I was a rookie last season, I've learned real quickly that Queen City seems to have off years following a championship. Did that have something to do this season with losing Parkey Cho, bringing in a rookie? We'll see. This is not even halfway. That's next week. We'll be at the halfway mark already. But they have plenty of time to come back, especially with the division they're in. It seems like at 1-4, they still have a shot.
They do still have a shot, most definitely, especially after NYC laid their egg tonight. They're just a game out of first place. Doug Boas, as are you, in Minneapolis, trailing Sioux Falls. Thanks for your time.
And happy birthday to T-Pat.
Yeah, Thomas Paterniti, the owner of the Minneapolis Maulers. It was his birthday tonight, and he gets his third straight victory of the season on his birthday. So happy birthday to Thomas Paterniti. Open line, 210-473-8428. We've got time for one, maybe two more callers as we begin to wrap things up here on the SFL postgame show. Again, running down the final scores. Santa Fe beats NYC 40-17. I think I said 40-10 earlier. My apologies. A couple of late touchdowns for the Sailors after they were trailing 40-3 or 37-3. I can't remember. It's all a blur. 334. You're on the SFL postgame show. 334. Who do I got?
Shann.
Shann, I will virtually shake your hand. What a night for Carolina's offense. Please describe to me what that was like watching that game.
It was exhilarating. Working all week, watching film, trying to put this offense together back where it was somewhat around the first of the year last year. Having the fullback, using him in the game, kind of a sneak of an attack, kind of like Jason said. We ran a lot of plays up the middle, and we were successful with it last week. This week, we wanted to let them think that we're going to do that again this week. But unfortunately, I took a lot of those plays out and just did something different, because when you win games, to me, when you win games, you have a tendency, and when it's working for you, people pick up on it. So if you want somebody to pick up on it, just run a lot of good plays up the middle, let them bite on it, and then run them to the outside.
Wow. Well, Shann,
that's kind of my strategy.
Yeah, well, hey, I gotta hand it to you. And who knows what Carolina will do next week? It's a complete wild card. Now you're going to turn around and change nothing, and make people think that you're going to change something. So the ultimate sleight of hand there out of Carolina. But you've won 2 straight games. The first win, you got it with the defense primarily. The second win, you got it with the offense primarily, and you guys have to be feeling like, wow, we are really clicking right now, and we're on to something here.
Yes and no. I'm kind of a worrywart, so I don't take anything for granted. I'm watching film, and that's my main focus. I've already watched film this whole week on OKC. So, just want to execute, and just keep eating up the yards as far as 3 yards here, 3 yards there. Eventually, those 3 yards adds up, and we just want to keep punching it, keep running the clock, and just keep making that offense click. Andy does a really good job with the defense. He has since the beginning of the season this year. And it's been my job to make the offense work with what I got.
Many people don't know around the league maybe the stresses and the triumphs of being a coach in the SFL. Take us in, if you will, a little bit to how much work and prep goes into a game plan or a strategy, not just on your end, but from a total team effort. And what is it like on a night when you win, and what is it like on a night when you lose?
Well, I'll go ahead with the lose part because I hate losing. On on the lose side of it, it feels like the preparation, the time spent away from your families, and if you don't think that this will take time away from your family, you are seriously mistaken. Over the past season and a half, I've really been involved with this game. It's almost like a second hobby for me. The preparation that goes into it sometimes can get really strenuous, especially when you see your team lose and you spend all that time with the preparation. But it's always a joy to see your team win when you know that those are your plays that you put in. Those are your guys out there on the field working their tails off and just putting forth the best effort that they can do. We have a really good staff here at Carolina. We all come together. We all try to do our part. When things don't go our way, we talk amongst ourselves. We get back on track. We find out things that work, what don't work, and we capitalize on it. So to see our team win these last two games is somewhat a success for us, but you got to still keep grinding. You got to keep pushing. You can't slack up. Even though you find something that works, good. That's fine. It works. But we're not out of the woods yet. We've only won 2 games. So you got to stay with it. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing forward.
Hey, you want to tell the audience a little bit of some exciting things about being a coach? Because it sounds like you're scaring everybody else off.
Well, the exciting thing is when you have plays that work, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling that is your guy playing on the field with the rest of your teammates. Y'all are executing things. Things are going your way. I guess the biggest thrill for me is the strategy part of it, where you take somebody who is really good, like Sioux Falls, and you trick them into thinking one way, and it's a good feeling that your strategy worked for that week, and everything that you do in preparation paid off, and it's a wonderful feeling. You can't describe the feeling. I can't describe the feeling of what I feel when I win a game.
Shann Varner, offensive coordinator for the Carolina SkyHawks. Congrats on the victory, and thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, sir. You have a good night, Kim.
You too. We'll have to cut it off there. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League Network and the SFL Postgame Show. I'm your SFL play-by-play commentator and commissioner, Cameron Irvine. We're rolling on. Week 5 ends tomorrow. Dallas, OKC, along with DC and Tallahassee, and then it's on to Week 6. Good night, everyone, and thanks for your viewership and constant support. SFL last night, up tomorrow morning. Good night, everybody.